Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to be building a haunted house. I went ahead and burned some Sims on this lot so we would have some graves for the yard, although I don't have a particular floor plan in mind for the house itself. But obviously we want it to be a little bit creepy and Halloween-like. I'll be honest, I'm not a massive Halloween person, but I think I should try and make an effort to get into the mood with this house. I think I want to extend the house out a little bit on this left-hand side so that it's not completely symmetrical. I don't know, I feel like it was looking a little bit too square. We could turn this into some kind of balcony on this side. I'm also thinking potentially we could have a balcony right at the front. I've got a rough idea of what I think the floor plan is going to be. I'm thinking when you come in the front door here, we'll have like a large living area, possibly a fireplace on this wall. I think we'll have the dining room on this side of the staircase, and then we'll have the kitchen at the back here. This will be a little downstairs toilet, and we could have a back door here, which is going to lead out into the yard. Then upstairs, we've got 2 bedrooms and kind of a large-ish bathroom. We don't have to use both of these as bedrooms. We might just have one of them as a bedroom. I think we should put some windows in. I'm still thinking about maybe having a balcony here, because there's definitely enough space. Although, if we put a door here, is that going to make this room a little bit less useful? I don't know. I think it depends what we end up using this room for, so we'll have to see. I've chosen some outdoor wall coverings and I've put some windows in. Something's a little bit off. I don't know if it's the roof. If we make that a taller roof, does that look better? I think I want to focus on the interior for a bit, and maybe we'll come back to the exterior later and change a few things. I want to put a fireplace in here. I don't know, I'm kind of imagining some kind of family room with maybe some more traditional entertainment. We could have a big grand piano. I think if we put bookcases next to the fireplace, they might be quite likely to catch on fire. But I kind of want to just put them in to see how they look for the time being. And we need a couch, obviously. I'm not sure if we want to make things too kind of luxurious because, I mean, we've got this really old, worn down staircase. I suppose we could change that, but it feels perfect for a haunted house. Maybe we'll put the piano over on this wall. I don't know if that's taking up a bit too much space. We could put it in the corner here. For some reason, I still want to have a big TV over the fireplace. I know it's not very fitting. I did this in the last house, the Enchanted Cottage, as well. I don't know, we might have to get rid of it if it looks really out of place, but we'll leave it for now. I wonder if this is going to be the kind of haunted house that's really cluttered with furniture, or if it's going to be much more sparse because nobody's lived there for ages, so there's not really that much there. I feel like it would be more fun to make it cluttered, but I don't think the house should look too cozy. I think this is starting to look a bit cozy. There's too many nice places to sit. Maybe we could add some slightly creepier objects, like the head in the jar. I deleted the bookcases from the side of the fireplace, but I think we could maybe put them along this wall instead. Or actually, we could use one of the slightly shorter bookcases, maybe this one. That kind of goes with the vibe a little bit better. I think it's coming together a little bit. I wonder if we could add a chandelier. I mean, these are quite fancy looking, but we could pretend that maybe they don't work anymore, or that the electricity in the house is a bit temperamental, so maybe it flashes on and off sometimes when the ghosts are active. Let's put in some basic plumbing. I think I'm just going to have a sink down here for now. There's technically space to put a shower, but we're not going for ease and convenience. We're going for creepy, impractical, not necessarily the most desirable place to live. So when you're washing your hands, you're staring at a picture of the tragic clown rather than a mirror. We could just have a pantry in the kitchen, but it's really not that practical. Even though it looks the part a bit more than a fridge, I think we'll go for a fridge. I think we should go for a large dining table. I think this room here is gonna be just about big enough. I don't know if it looks a bit luxurious. Maybe I really should consider changing this staircase. What happens if we do that? Let's just delete it and try a different staircase. Actually, maybe the carpet runner staircase? I wouldn't think of this as kind of having a creepy vibe on its own. More of a kind of luxury, slightly fancier house. But maybe this is a fancier house. Maybe it's quite a luxurious house and it just happens to be very haunted. Although now I feel like I need a wall behind here because you can see the living room underneath the staircase, so that doesn't look very realistic. I don't know if that separates things too much. I don't know, I don't actually mind that too much because now we've got a bit of wall here. We could place like a picture or something on there. Gives us a bit more space to really decorate. Maybe a map of Europe. And we can do the same on the other side here. So we could put, I don't know, maybe some portraits or something. Maybe having 2 portraits is too much. Maybe just one in the middle. We could put a chair or another decorative object here by the door, but I'm not really sure there's any need. I've put a phone on a little wooden barrel here. I haven't put a burglar alarm because I feel like the Sims living here are going to have enough intruders as it is. For upstairs, I'm thinking this is going to be the bedroom, but I'm still not completely sure. I think we're just going to put furniture in and then see, because it might end up making more sense moving things around. I'm just quite into the idea of having a few more creepy objects, like this skeleton in a cage. I think we need one of those for sure. This clown is very scary. And I don't know if it's something you usually want to have in your house, but it kind of does fit the mood. We're definitely going to need Bonehilda. I think she can live in this upstairs room somewhere. I've placed the bear rug in the bedroom and a bear statue as well, so maybe the Sims living here are kind of into taxidermy. Okay, well this is what we've now got for the upstairs. This room over here is looking really quite creepy. We've got Bonehilda. We've got lots of places to practice some magic. And we've got some skeleton chairs and just kind of a spooky vibe. I'll put a gnome making bench and a gargoyle making bench in this little shed outhouse area. I think we should do some landscaping. I'm not sure how we're gonna make all of the graves look like they belong, because they're just a bit randomly scattered at the moment to sort of set the scene. We definitely need some spooky trees. I think we should have like a railing outside the front of the house, so maybe it doesn't look so friendly to any passers-by. I'd quite like to have a little closed off garden area at the back with a fountain that maybe doesn't have any graves and is a little bit more, I wouldn't say relaxing, but just kind of a nice outside space that you can come and sit out in. Maybe we could use some hedges to kind of divide up the space. And let's move some of these graves out the way. It would be nice to have a little patio here, although I think this fountain is maybe a bit oversized. I feel like it's kind of swamping this little bench. Maybe we could go for a smaller fountain. I'm not sure, it looks a bit strange. Actually, what if we had a bigger fountain but put it further out here on the grass? And then we could have maybe 2 outside love seats, kind of either side potentially. I'm not necessarily thinking of this house as a place for Sims who want to grow loads of crops, but maybe we could have a few gardening plots out the back here. I wonder if that looks a bit better, moving where these gaps in the hedges are, so this path kind of works its way around the back of the house. I've added an apple tree here, and I've extended this path all the way around on this side. And we've got some more trees and plants in the little graveyard area. I think we're going for kind of an overgrown feel. And there's a little bench here where you can sit outside and contemplate the graves if you feel comfortable doing so. Then this path leads around to the outdoor shed, which I've moved a little bit closer to the road, just so we had a little bit more space here for the graves. We've got a small pond on this side of the back terrace area, and then a kind of dirt path leading around the side of the house, background to the front. And there's lots more graves kind of scattered around in this kind of overgrown garden area. I also placed one of the graves in the upstairs bathroom. I thought that would add an extra creepy touch, just for something to look at while you're getting changed or taking a bath. I've also gone back and extended this balcony a little bit at the front. You can't actually access it from the house, but I feel like when you look at the house as a whole, it looks a little bit more balanced than before when it was just a couple of tiles right at the front here. It now is like kind of curving round. I've also added a few more of these reeds, which really are supposed to go on the pond, but I think they make this area look a little bit more overgrown. So we have a bit more comparison between here and then the slightly more kempt part of the yard. But I think the house is pretty much finished. The link for downloading this house will be in the description. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.